Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to give you a pretty thorough overview of the topic here, and then in just a short while we're going to watch two videos courtesy of Twitter, which will show the attack in question. So I'll just start off by telling you what this is about. Well, it's about an attack that occurred from a passenger on a flight attendant. This happened mid-flight. The flight in question was a flight from San Jose del Cabo to LAX, Los Angeles. And the passenger in question, his name is Alexander Tung Koo Lee, if I pronounce that correctly, Alexander Tung Koo Lee. He's from Westminster. Now, essentially what happened was the attacker, the passenger, was heard mumbling some rather bizarre things by a female flight attendant. So he was heard talking or mumbling about killers being aboard the flight, and he was heard whispering, "There are 10 killers on the plane." So he was saying some disturbing things that a female flight attendant was made aware of. Allegedly she heard him say these things. Then a male flight attendant got involved and seemingly refused to give him a cup of coffee, something like that. I suppose that aspects are kind of trivial. And then we will see the attack. So let's go and play the attack from this video here. And I do need to mention the Twitter channel that's also in the description, but let's watch this. So there's the male flight attendant. He's about to walk away.
Oh my God! What are you doing? Oh my God, you just hit him.
That's right, he just hit him. He just hit him, and then we can see him sat down. I don't know, I shouldn't laugh, but there he is, sat down. So he runs up after the guy, hits him on the back. Well, it looks like there could be potentially some kind of strike here, attempted strike, attempt to hit the flight attendant. So the flight attendant, walks away. All right, I've had enough dealing with you, buddy. And then, we see the guy run up after him and hit him on the back. Very, very bizarre. That's like not normal behavior. And then he just saunters back. Oh, no problems. I'll just take my seat now. Yeah, it is a problem. All of the passengers are very disconcerted about the whole situation, of course. Naturally so. Yeah, so the gentlemen are showing a physical presence. So the men aboard, some of the men are showing a physical presence to warn the passenger that repercussions will occur. So he was apprehended and he was tied up with they called zip ties. There we go. And some of the other male passengers stood by again, really to display a show of force to the passenger, that if he tries to do anything else of a violent nature, that the passengers are prepared to apprehend him. He seems kind of calm at that point. I don't know. It's just all very odd, isn't it? But that's something that happened on Wednesday on a flight from San Jose del Cabo to LAX. He's facing up to 20 years in prison. So I have to ask the guy, was it worth it? Was it worth it, buddy? Was that momentary outburst, was that worth getting yourself banned from ever flying on that airline again? American Airlines. Was it worth being arrested? Was it worth facing up to 20 years in jail? Do I think 20 years is too much for this incident? Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, this happened on an airplane mid-flight. So, the risks are much greater than it would be if this happened on land. Obviously, that's why there's the potential for such such a lengthy jail sentence. I mean, I do feel that this is a moment of madness from this guy. Seemingly, he was mumbling. I'm going to say schizophrenic paranoia that there were killers on the plane. That doesn't seem particularly mentally healthy to me. And then he has this physical outburst. I mean, it was just one strike. It was a moment of anger, and then he seemed to comply. To me, it's very odd, very, very odd, and it seems like a mental health thing to me. So I think 20 years. It's understandable that the laws are such that he could face up to 20 years in jail, but I don't think that would be appropriate in this case. I'd give him a huge, massive fine if that's appropriate, and I'd give him some jail time. I wouldn't go beyond 12 months, to be honest. 2 years maybe, but I would think this is mental health related, and he ought to get the attention that he requires in that regard. But of course, that doesn't excuse the behavior. So the article does tell us some other things. According to Federal Aviation Administration figures, airlines have reported nearly 2,000 incidences involving unruly passengers this year, which is down from nearly 6,000 last year. So seemingly there was a heck of a lot of unruly passengers last year. 6,000 incidences of unruly passengers. That's a stack load. Yeah, so I don't know. That's not very good. So I'm going to wrap things up at this point. It does confuse me, to be honest. It says, while the FAA agency did not track such reports in prior years, a spokesman said it was safe to assume this year's numbers are the highest ever, which frankly doesn't make any sense, seeing as the number of incidences are so much lower. So I don't know. That makes no sense to me. But either way, I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit, and take care.